You are listening to Productivity Straight Talk with your host, Amber De La Garza. Amber is a sought-after productivity coach, trainer, speaker, and writer who gives entrepreneurs the straight talk on personal productivity. No BS, fluff, or overused jargon. Just actionable strategies to get results and succeed in business. And here is your host, Amber De La Garza, the productivity specialist.
Welcome, and thank you for listening to Productivity Straight Talk. Today is episode 165. Stop trying to be productive all day. If you're a business owner who wants to improve your time management and elevate your productivity so you can maximize profits, reduce stress, and make time for what matters most, then you're in the right place, and I'm so glad you've joined me. Today, we are going to be diving into the topic of why I think you shouldn't be trying to be productive all day and what you should aim for instead, so that you can maximize your days and streamline your business goals. This episode is being brought to you by my Time Management Made Simple program. To find out more and join, head on over to amberdelagarza.com/time. Again, that's Amber, DELAGARZA.com/time. And now, let's get to the straight talk. Why would I do an entire episode to tell you that I do not believe that you should be trying to be productive all day, every day? Well, the answer is because I often hear potential clients and listeners tell me that that's what they thought. Like they thought that that was the goal, was to improve their time management and their productivity so that they could do it all day, every day. And every time I hear it, I'm like, no, like 2 hands up. No, you are literally setting yourself up to fail. I want you to hear me out on this. The reason that I believe that we should not try to be productive all day, every day, is because when we do that, we are diluting the definition of being productive. And it becomes this kind of gray area of anything that we do that keeps us busy or we can justify moves the needle forward a little bit or could have potential to move the needle forward, or even things that fall under the bucket of they just need to get done, are now defined as you being your most productive self. And then what happens is those things start to multiply and then eat up all of your time, energy, and attention. So hear me out when I tell you the goal is never to be productive all day, every day as a business owner. So what should you aim for? Well, let's back it up and start with me sharing, again, for longtime listeners, but for those of you that are new, my definition of productivity. Productivity is investing your best time into your best activities. Again, that's investing your best time into your best activities. So in episode 121, Productivity plus Profitability and Why Your Business Needs Both, I went into great detail as to how I identify specific buckets for you to find your best activities. But I think it would do us really well to do a review for those of you that have already heard it and really hit it home for those of you that have never heard it before. And if you'd like to go back and listen to episode 121, I'm definitely going deeper into each of the buckets in that episode than I will here. As a business owner, your number one goal as a business is to create profitability or create profits, right? Being profitable, having profits. Profits means that you're running a healthy, sustainable business. Now, if you are brand new in business, your goal may be just to break even. But your long-term goal as a business owner should most definitely be focused on creating profitability. Now, I say this because when you are profitable, you are sustainable, and therefore you can serve more people with your skill set, your talent, and the way you were meant to impact the world. You can be incredibly skilled at something that you serve your clients with, but if your business isn't operating and running profitably, you're not going to be able to stick with it. And so my belief is that the best thing you can do to ensure that you can make the biggest impact for your clients and the world is to ensure you're prioritizing profitability. Now, are there more ways to identify success in your business? Absolutely. But when we think of being sustainable, not just for our clients, but also for our employees, for our contractors, and really for our families, I'm certain that your business is serving your family. If your number one goal is profitability, then your highest and best activities as the business owner is going to be impacting profitability in your business. And no matter what industry you're in, if you're new here again, I kind of feel like we've had so many new listeners, so I'm going to repeat some of this. And for those of you that are seasoned and long-term listeners, I know you need to hear this again. Your best activities will be found in one of four buckets, no matter what industry you're in. I serve real estate, interior design, organic farmers, financial advisors, attorneys, online business owners, coaches. The list literally goes on. The reason I can serve so many different industries is because at the heart, you are a business owner running a business. And the specific field that I specialize in with regards to time management and productivity, they're universal principles and strategies. So, how can I tell you what your highest and best activities are, no matter what industry? Stay tuned. All right, let's break this down. Number one bucket is marketing and visibility. You need to tell the world what you do and how you do it. Now, your specific strategy for your business, how old your business is, what your team looks like, and industry will vary. But as the business owner, one of your highest and best activities is marketing and visibility. Bucket number two is sales. This is going to be making proposals, having sales conversations where you're actually asking for the business. The sales bucket is crucial for the success of your business. Bucket number three is servicing your clients. Now, for some of you, you are actually in a service-based business where you are serving your clients as a coach or an interior designer. Some of you are servicing your clients by creating products or trainings. Whatever that way is that you serve your clients, when you are investing your time in that bucket, it's your highest and best activity. Now, these three buckets are crucial to the success of your business, but as your business grows, you do not need to be the sole person in that business. So for those of you that are newer in business, you are surely wearing the hat in each of these three buckets all the time. As your business grows and you build your team, and now I'm speaking to those of you that have teams of 1 or 2 or 10 or 20, you will be investing more of your time in the fourth bucket, which is the leadership bucket. And the leadership bucket will now be your highest and best activity because now you're supporting your team, you're training your team, you're holding them accountable, you're sharing the vision of how maybe your team members are taking over a more active role in the marketing and visibility, the sales, and or servicing your clients. So as your business grows, you may find yourself more and more in the fourth bucket and less in the first three buckets. Now, that makes complete sense, right? But what happens is that business owners, we know those are our highest and best activities, and yet the days literally run through our fingers. We get so busy with all the other things that it takes to run our businesses. And oftentimes these things are in their own right really important, which makes it even more incredibly difficult to prioritize and carve out and show up consistently in the first 3 or 4 buckets. That leads me to bucket number 5. And bucket number 5 is the other bucket. It's all the other things that do not fit in the first 4 buckets. And those are not technically considered your highest and best activities. Now, stick with me here. I know that you are a real person running a real business, and there are so many tasks and activities that fall under the other bucket that cannot be ignored, and I am not asking you to ignore it. But here is why I'm telling you the goal is not to be productive all day, every day. What may be happening for you is that you're putting out so many fires and you are hesitant to hire somebody or to properly delegate or train someone. So you are starting and ending your day in the other bucket and asking yourself, how can you possibly have time to show up consistently in the first 3 or 4 buckets? I hear you. I get it. But if you tell yourself that you're doing important work that has to get done, that is not a choice to keep the doors open, I hear you, but you're rationalizing and negotiating the importance of the other bucket over the first 3 or 4 buckets. And I'm here to tell you that will not serve you or your business. And so what I believe is that we really need to look at that other bucket for what it is. And it definitely needs time and space on our calendar. It needs our attention, but not at the expense of not showing up in the first 3 to 4 buckets. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Ask yourself now, do a time audit, or really just have a conversation with yourself, an honest conversation, and answer the question, how often are you showing up in the first 3 or 4 buckets? And I keep saying 3 or 4 depending on where your business is at. How consistent are you at showing up in those buckets? And are you making decisions week by week, day by day, hour by hour to prioritize all the other things that show up on your to-do list at the expense of showing up consistently in marketing and visibility, sales, and servicing your clients, and leadership? My goal for you, the listener of Productivity Straight Talk, my goal is the same for my one-on-one coaching clients. The same is true for my students that are inside Time Management Made Simple, is for you to know where you're starting at and to create incremental goals of how much time you are committing to spending in each of the first 3 to 4 buckets on a weekly basis. So if you're starting out and you're being incredibly honest and you're like, I think I'm spending maybe 5 hours a week in those buckets. And the rest of the time is literally like I'm chasing my tail and running around like a chicken with its head cut off. Then I want you to benchmark that and shoot for 8 hours. And to do that, you need to employ incredibly specific and strategic time management principles and strategies so that you can work your most effective self and prioritize you showing up in your highest value activities. Now, maybe you benchmark yourself and you're at 10 hours. That's great. Now we need to employ all of these strategies by leveraging ourselves and our time and organization and people to get that up to 15 hours and then 20 hours of your most productive time in a week. The belief of thinking that we need to be productive all day, every day is so counterproductive because it's not possible. It is not possible for a small business owner to only work in those 4 buckets every single minute of every single day. Now, as you grow and you're more and more purposeful with it, a large percentage of your time as the business owner and CEO will be in your most productive activities, and that is the goal. But when you're starting out wanting to improve your time management and increase your productivity, it's not like waking up one day and deciding you're going to run a marathon when you don't run at all. That's the same thing. Is like you wake up and you have done no training mentally or physically to run the marathon. You are setting yourself up to fail. So what I would like you to think about is, what do you need to prepare yourself for mentally and with regards to your time management, how to leverage organization, which would be business systems, SOPs, how to leverage people through delegation. What is it that you need to do now and while you're on this journey to get to the goal of running a marathon or having most of your week, a majority of your day and week dedicated to your most productive activities? That's the question. And when we ask that question and we peel it back, that's when we go to work on implementing all of these strategies and stacking them on top of each other to reclaim time, refocus time onto our most productive activities. So, the idea of thinking that the goal is to be productive all day, every day, is simply not setting yourself up for success. Having a long-term goal of having a majority of your time be your most productive time is absolutely setting yourself up for success, because now you can start asking questions of, who do I need to be? What does my business need to be for me to be able to show up in my highest value activities a majority of the time? Then we get to work. And that's the type of work we get onto in coaching, is you get to work on solving for all of those different areas of your business that compoundedly create more productivity. I want to end this episode by sharing with you that one of the phrases that I hear via text or email or even on a coaching call is, I'm a work in progress. And it's never said, I'm a work in progress. It's said, I'm a work in progress. And it's almost like inserting an excuse or a reason why something didn't happen or we didn't show up the way that we thought we wanted to show up either that day or that week. And obviously it's in relation to time management and productivity when I'm talking to my clients, but it's answered like, well, I'm a work in progress. And I'm here to tell you, let's freaking celebrate your work in progress. And that is literally my response back to my clients is, yes, you are a work in progress, ! We are all a work in progress, and work in progress means progress. The worst thing for us to do is be stagnant, still, plateaued, no growth in our business or no growth for us personally or professionally. We are all on a journey. And no one's journey looks exactly the same. And I would love to think that we are all in this collectively as business owners, as entrepreneurs, a work in progress. So what is your work in progress goal? Where are you at currently if you benchmarked your highest value activities, how often you're showing up in it, being incredibly honest with yourself? Are you showing up consistently? And what do you want to do about it if that is not where you want to be? Where do you want to be in 6 months, in a year? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Asking yourself those questions will allow you to ask yourself deeper questions about where is the opportunity to do the work to get you there. What is that journey? What is that marathon training plan for you, but in your business? And that's exciting because when we get clear about what our goal is and what it is we're looking to accomplish into the future, and we back that into some clarity around a plan and create milestones, That's something I can get incredibly excited about, and my guess is you can too. So join me today in celebration that we are all a work in progress. Having great conversations and honest conversations with ourselves and dreaming big, that's a great opportunity for us to grow. I have loved having you listen to this episode of Productivity Straight Talk, and I sure hope you found today's episode incredibly valuable, and that you walk away from today's episode asking yourself some seemingly hard questions, but behind it is going to be unlocking what it is that you are going to commit to working on to reach your goal of being more productive. No change. Without taking action, nothing will change for you or your business. So what will you take action on today? Will you commit to having this conversation with yourself and really asking yourself, how often are you really showing up in your highest value activities? And how often are you just busy? Are you just feeling like you're getting through the day? But how often are you really making an impact in the growth of your business? As a reminder, this episode of Productivity Straight Talk has been brought to you by my Time Management Made Simple program. To find out more, head on over to amberdelagarza.com/time. It's a 4-module on-demand training where I teach you step-by-step time management strategies and principles for you to improve your time management. And if you haven't already done so and you love listening to Productivity Straight Talk, I'll ask that you take a moment and subscribe and share it with a friend. Don't keep this a secret. If you found this episode or any other specific episode incredibly valuable, shoot it on over to them via a text or an email and say, hey, I was thinking about you and I thought this episode would be of value to you. Thank you so much in advance for sharing an episode of Productivity Straight Talk with another friend in business. So that's my straight talk for you today. Until next time, have a productive week.